Savannah Chrisley, along with her brother Chase and the family's attorney Alex Little, addressed cameras outside the courthouse on Wednesday following Julie Chrisley's resentencing hearing. In her statement, Savannah alleged that the prosecution was uneducated. The family is going to continue to try and fight the court in regard to her parents' sentences. Here is what she had to say. Chrisley's family attorney, incredibly disappointed. For his part, the Chrisley family's attorney Alex Little said that they were incredibly disappointed in the court's decision. A judge chose to uphold Julie Chrisley's original 7-year sentence, stating that it was sufficient for the crimes committed. The family's attorney went on to explain the situation to reporters outside. Julie's sentence was vacated in June due to insufficient evidence. However, Alex Little exclaimed that the court didn't give her a day of credit. When you talk about the public confidence in the court, it is a concerning result, he said. We're also incredibly disappointed in the personal attacks on family members. That's just uncalled for. We're evaluating our options on how to move forward and appreciate everybody's support. One reporter asked about what personal attacks he was referring to. Savannah Chrisley piped up, stating that she was looking right at me. Alex Little said that there were inferences made that Chloe Chrisley, who is in Savannah's care, is not being treated well and being lied to. I've never seen a judge attack family members in a courtroom like that, he said. Savannah interjected, to say that it is for TV ratings or podcast ratings is laughable because both of my parents are sitting in federal prison. So, this has nothing to do with ratings. The Chrisley Knows Best star also questioned whether or not the judge had done her homework. Apparently, she alleged that Savannah was spouting lies online and Savannah asked what steps she had taken to verify the claims she made. She went on a bit of a rant about how she's been looking into the conditions in the prisons in the United States. Savannah Chrisley says prosecution is uneducated. Then, a reporter asked her if she felt like the judge was preaching to her during the resentencing hearing. Yeah, she was looking directly at me, Savannah said with a smug smile as Alex Little could be heard saying that was, objectively what was happening. He continued, stating that there was nothing wrong with telling Chloe and Grayson that Julie Chrisley could be coming home sooner. As a member of the public, the attorney says, the court's decision simply doesn't pass the smell test. Addressing Savannah Chrisley again, one reporter asked if she felt like there was an injustice. She said, absolutely, and went on to say it was clear that the prosecution was uneducated. Then, she reiterated that she would continue to fight for her parents and be as long as I can possibly be. Fans took to Reddit to discuss Savannah's reaction to her mom's resentencing. One person wrote, "Sassy is mad," calling the prosecutor uneducated. Others chimed in with their thoughts in the comments. "She's the uneducated one person wrote. Another person commented, she said she would be appealing the sentence again. Julie was sentenced well below the guidelines. The focus needs to be on serving the rest of her sentence and trying to get early release based on good behavior." A third Reddit user said, "Wow, she is so delusional." Savannah Chrisley mentioned during her discussion with reporters that she fully intends to continue to pursue the appeals process until her parents are home. The interview was set for later that afternoon, and Savannah could already feel the tension in the air. Her podcast, Unlocked, had become a platform for her to air out frustrations and connect with her fan base, but this episode would be different. This episode was personal. As she sat down to record, Savannah's eyes burned with a fierce determination. The moment the red on-air light flashed, she took a deep breath and dove in. "I've had enough," she began, her voice steady but seething with emotion. "I've stayed quiet for too long about this whole thing, but today I'm going to address the elephant in the room, the prosecutor in my mom's case. Let's call it what it is, a vendetta." Savannah's voice grew stronger as she continued. "My mom, Julie Chrisley, is not a criminal mastermind. She's not some ruthless person that they've tried to paint her as. She's a loving wife, mother, and grandmother. And yet, the prosecutor has done everything in their power to make sure she's locked up for as long as possible." The words were flowing now, raw and unfiltered. Savannah's frustration with the entire legal process had been building for months, and it was clear she had reached her breaking point. "From day one, it was clear that they were going after my family," she said. "The way they presented evidence, twisted stories, and manipulated public perception, it was all designed to make us look guilty before we even had a chance to defend ourselves. But it's my mom who I'm the angriest for. She doesn't deserve this." Savannah's voice cracked slightly, betraying the deep emotional toll the ordeal had taken on her. The once bubbly reality star was now a young woman fighting tooth and nail for her family's name. "They went after her like she was some kind of monster," Savannah continued, her hands shaking slightly. "They dragged her through the mud, made her out to be this cold, calculating person when, in reality, she's the kindest, most genuine person you could ever meet. And it wasn't just the legal battle, it was the media, too. Everyone had something to say. But you know who didn't? The prosecutor. They never acknowledged the toll this was taking on my mom." As Savannah spoke, her mind flashed back to the trial. She remembered sitting in the courtroom, watching as her mother sat quietly beside her father, the weight of the world on their shoulders. Savannah had felt helpless then, unable to do anything but watch as the prosecutor methodically laid out their case, making Julie Chrisley out to be someone she barely recognized. "What frustrates me the most," Savannah said, her voice rising, "is how they treated her like she was the ringleader. Like she was this mastermind behind everything. My mom's not a mastermind, she's a mother. A woman who built a life for her family through hard work and dedication. She's not some criminal they need to lock away." The memories of the trial continued to flood back as Savannah spoke, each one more painful than the last. She remembered the prosecutor's cold, detached demeanor, the way they seemed almost pleased with themselves as they presented their case. There was no empathy, no understanding, just a relentless pursuit of a conviction. "They didn't care about the truth," Savannah said bitterly. "They cared about winning. That's all that mattered to them. And they didn't care who they hurt along the way. Well, I'm done staying silent about it. I'm done letting them get away with this narrative that my mom is some villain. She's not. And I will continue to fight for her until the day she walks out of that prison." Savannah paused for a moment, collecting her thoughts.